This film is about how lockdown showed us that we can quickly make the places where we live better for both people and nature. Now green space is being used so much more, and we've tasted better, breathable air. We asked far and wide for you to send in your lessons from lockdown, and this is what we've discovered. More now commute by bike, with more space for cycling.
Hey everybody, my name is Doug Gordon. I'm here in Brooklyn, New York. I'm on Prospect Park West, which is one of the open streets in the New York City Department of Transportation Open Streets program. So far, there are about 40 miles of open streets throughout the city, all in response to the coronavirus, to give people more space to run, to bike, to play, to alleviate some of the crowding in our parks. And as you can see, it's pretty quiet here on the street. There are people biking, kids playing.
Hello, I'm Isabelle, member of collective Paris en voiture, Car Free Paris. I just want to show you how things were changed since the COVID crisis. 2 traffic lanes have been transformed into bicycle paths to lighten the number of passengers in the metro, in fact, because people were afraid. Previously, the 3 lanes were all dedicated to cars, and then last year, 1 lane was transformed into a bicycle path.
People got used to a better experience on less crowded public transport.
I thought I was going to go to the gym after work this year. Turns out that many people are going on more nature walks and runs and are exercising twice as much compared to last year.
Back in March, at the very beginning of lockdown, I remember going for a walk with my brother during our 1 hour a day, I think it was, that we were allowed to be outside. And I think, like many people, we were amazed and encouraged really at how quickly nature seems to have blossomed into the spaces that the humans had left behind, as we were all mostly confined to our houses. I remember he said to me at one point, it's like Mother Nature has said to humanity, now go to your rooms and don't come out and think about what you did.
My most important lesson that I've learned from lockdown is the interconnectedness between humans and nature. I think that so many people have realised the importance of not only caring for one another, but for caring for our planet.
I think it's good that streets are starting to open and close off to cars, because it gives more people a chance to bike around or scoot or walk or have a picnic.
It's so impressive that there becomes more spaces in the street. I can feel more comfortable walking on the street, even I wear a mask. Before the COVID-19, all the streets in Hong Kong are super crowded. You can't even feel the wind and have a fresh breath.
If you've noticed, it's gotten a lot noisier where I am. That's because at the moment I am by the very busy A12. During lockdown, this whole road was silent, and it's going to sound like a cliche, but for the very first time I could actually hear birds singing. It felt a lot safer just being on the street.
A lot of travel is unnecessary, and many can cut commuting with Wi-Fi and remote working.
Some lessons from the pandemic that we'd like to share are: number 1, many people don't want to go back to the lives they had before. It's too stressful, and I think that quite many would like to work shorter days, don't travel as much.
All of our mileage has been solar powered, which is fantastic, and it's the first time we've been able to do that. So it's perfectly possible, as long as you're not commuting lots and lots of miles in the summer, for all of your mileage to be free, powered by the sun.
Everything has in many ways really changed. We don't need to travel as much as we thought we did. I have very particularly learned that. I used to commute a lot to London. I haven't for over 3 months. And has it changed life? Well, actually, yes, for the better. I have travelled for work by air far too often over the last few years, and if I never see another plane again, I'll be delighted.
Academics, if we really put our minds to it, can do much more of our work online and avoid unnecessary travel. So way back before the lockdown, I was asked to put together something called the Cambridge Sustainability Commission on Scaling Behaviour Change. And appropriately, we decided that rather than go for the traditional model of flying in key experts from all over the world to participate in 2 or 3 days of discussion and dialogue around this theme, that we would actually do it all online.
So rather than constantly travelling across the UK to speak to local groups of say 50 or 60 people, we found we can support much larger groups online, initially 100 at a time, but recently increasing to 150. This new approach not only allows us to reach more people, but we're also bringing together and cross-fertilising ideas from a much more diverse range of people from many different parts of the UK at the same time.
Nature bounces back given space, and greener towns are better for people.
It would be nice to see a bold change in this country now, to see if employers can just say now, work from home, so they reduce the size of their offices. It reduces the amount of people travelling all the time, it reduces the amount of cars on the road. It really would be nice, as I say, if a bold change could happen.
There is hope for the future. Everything might seem really bad right now, but looking into the future, there is always hope, and the fact that we can emerge from lockdown, realising the beauty of not only caring for one another, but caring for our planet, really puts us in a great steadfast for coming out of lockdown and really building back better.
Towns and cities can grow more food closer to home.
In lockdown, what I've definitely noticed is that my garden is doing particularly well. So I've got cabbages and broad beans, beetroot down here with the red stalks.
We make time. I think it's about prioritising what you do with your time, and since we believe in organic food which kind of grows without massive amounts of pesticides and chemicals sprayed onto, we believe this is really, really important, because that's better for our health, it's better for our immune systems, and that is sort of linked with the current crisis.
I had an allotment for many years. I gave it up 4 or 5 years ago. I have been regretting it every second of every day since. And the physical, mental health and social benefits of having an allotment, having that safe space, getting outdoors, doing the growing, the nurturing with all the other folks in that sort of collaborative enterprise that any allotment is, has been, it's just been the best thing.
Fewer cars mean less noise and air pollution, and more space for children to play.
We're on a street.
We're on a street. Are there any cars?
Nope.
So what do you think about it?
I think it's fun.
Why do you like it?
Because you can bike a lot, you can speed a lot, you can skip a lot.
We can really quickly reimagine our neighbourhoods to make them much nicer places. Because of the pandemic, lots of roads have been closed to cars but open to people and what you might call active transport, cyclists, runners. And because of the impact of the pandemic, it's given the opportunity for businesses that have been heavily hit by it, the cafes and the restaurants, to open out onto the streets and put tables out, as you can see around here in my local neighbourhood. Now, not only is this a clever response for that reason, but we also know that the pollution that comes mostly from cars is responsible, in the UK at least, for the premature deaths of up to about 36,000 people. And if you look at that more broadly across the whole of Europe, the figure's about 500,000. So by opening up our streets to people and closing them to cars, we have been able to really quickly reimagine the places we live and make our neighbourhoods much more pleasant places.
Thanks for watching our lessons from lockdown about making more space for people and nature. If this resonated with you, please consider joining our community by clicking the link below. Here at Rapid Transition Alliance, we're building a better, fairer and greener world. There's still so much more to do, and every one of us counts.